luck on this match. So please go ahead and introduce yourselves and let us know who your team captain and your coach are, starting with Franklin.
I'm Yukti, our team captain is Ajul, and our coach is Anurko.
And please buzz in.
Yeah, buzz in, just do the buzz check.
Hi, I'm Sagar.
Achal, I'm the captain.
I'm Harshita. I'm Krishna.
Thank you. And Houston.
I'm Ria. I'm Asha.
Siddharth, and I'm the team captain.
I'm Tara. I'm Prisha.
All right, thank you, Houston. So before we begin the individual round, we'll start with a coin toss to determine who goes first.
Siri, flip a coin.
Oh.
Siri, flip a coin. Head.
Okay. All right. So Houston, you will start with the individual round. This is the individual round, so no buzzers will be used. There are 10 questions per team worth 20 points each. The second team will have a chance to answer any part that was answered incorrectly by the first team. However, they must answer all parts of the question correctly to get the partial credit. The second team will get 50% of the credit, and there is no steal in the case of the anagram question. In this round, conferring will be allowed for the first team. The second team may only confer via writing. The team captain or designee must answer the question. When the person begins speaking, team members can only confer via writing. There will be no penalty for an incorrect response. 7 seconds will be given after the last word of a question has been said to the first team before I will require a response. After 5 seconds, I will say, "Answer, please." 2 seconds later, I will say, "Time." Once any part of the word "time" is said, the responding team may not answer. If the second team has the chance to steal, I will call on the other team and give 2 seconds to answer before calling time. Okay.
Excuse me,
Yes.
clarify if there are any rule changes, and especially regarding extra information.
Okay, yeah, so we did this for the junior round as well, but a few rule changes. The first one is on extra info. If a participant gives extra information on a question, keep in mind that we will be very strict and generally not accept the answer if extraneous information is given on a question, even if it is correct. As always, it is up to the moderators, so my discretion, whether to accept that answer or not. But in general, please only restrict your answer to what is asked and not give extra information, even if it is correct. One second. Yeah. For multi-part questions, it will either say this is a multi-part question, or it will begin with the words "for X points each," in which case it is also a multi-part question.
Thank you.
And once again, I'll reiterate, there's no gesturing allowed on the part of the audience members, and conferring is only allowed between 2 members when it is asked for. For protests, please simply raise your hand if you're a coach, and we will address the protests at the end of each round. Thank you. Okay, and we will pause after each question to allow the team member, if they believe they want to protest, to address their coach to protest. But please limit this interaction to a minimum, no excessive gesturing. Okay. Houston, are you ready?
Both teams start out with 100 points.
Oh, yeah, so both teams will start out with 100 points, so that negatives will not get into negative. Okay. Question 1 for Houston. For 4 points each, name the internal qualities, or lakshan, of Samyak Darshan in either the English or Indian language.
Astigya, Anukampa, Samveg, Nirved, Upsham.
Those are all correct for 20 points. The answers were Astigya, Anukam, Nirved, Samveg, and Upacham. Question 2. This is an anagram question. All capital letters must be used only once, which you don't know, but okay, so the Raja felt pity for the animals and issued a neat ban. The letters are Raja, R-A-J-A-H, Pity, P-I-T-Y, Ban, B-A-N. Clue 1. It is a type of indirect knowledge.
Pratyabhijna.
Pratyabhijna is correct for 15. Question 3 for Houston. This is a two-part question. Name the Gunasthanak in which the soul possesses right faith and right knowledge, but has not adopted the path of right conduct. Also, give the collective name of the karma in this stage that are suppressed, eradicated, or a combination of both.
It's the fourth Gunasthanak, which is Avirati Samyak Drashti, and it's Darshan Saptak.
Avirati Samyak Drashti and Darshan Saptak are correct for 20 points. Question 4. This is the most popular stotra composed by Acharya Mantum Suri.
Bhaktamar Stotra.
Bhaktambar Stotra is correct for 20 points. Question 5. This is a math question. Take the number of hours after sunrise you must wait before eating or drinking during Puri month, multiply by the types of ban, and subtract the number of subtypes of Darshnavarniya karma. Give the corresponding meaning of Mother Trishla's dream.
Answer, please.
Parafish, which means he would be handsome.
Pair of fish, which means her son would be extremely handsome, is correct for 20 points. Question 6 for Houston. When the ascetics of Bhadrabahu Sangh returned to Patliputra after the end of a 12-year period of famine, they noticed two significant changes that had taken place during their absence under the leadership of Acharya Stulibhadra. Name these two changes.
So the two changes were that they were wearing like a loincloth or ardhabalak, and there were discrepancies in the agams that were memorized. So they had memorized it one way and they had other.
Those are both correct for 20 points. I'll read the explanation of the answer. So during the famine time, the rule of nudity was relaxed, and the ascetics were allowed to wear a piece of cloth, white cloth, known as ardhabalak, so that they could stay in the town for their gochri, for their survival. And they also found some inconsistencies with the Jain scripture versions they had memorized, compared to the versions that were accepted at the Council of Patliputra in their absence. Question 7 for Houston. Define Vatur Savo Dhammo.
Religion is the true nature of things.
That is correct for 20. Vatu Savo Dhammo means religion is the real nature of things. Question 8 for Houston. Answer the following questions about Madhur Swami's sermons in the order I asked them. Part 1. What Jain scripture documents the teachings of his last sermon? Part 2. In what language did Madhur Swami deliver his sermons? And Part 3. Who was stopped by senior monks while trying to sit with the other Kevali monks during Madhur Swami's sermon?
So the first part is Uttradhyayan Sutra. The second part is Ardhabangdi or Prakrit, which was the language of the people. And the third is Aimuttamuni.
Those are all correct for 20 points. Part 1 was Uttradhyayan Sutra. Part 2 was Ardhamagadi or Prakrit. And Part 3 was Aimuttamuni. Question 9 for Houston. This is a two-part question. First, give the name of this lesha in the Indian language, where people in this state of mind are kind, benevolent, and forgiving. They observe some austerities and are vigilant in keeping their vows till their last breath. They remain unaffected by joy and sorrow. Second, if one dies while in this lesha, where will they be reborn?
Shukladhyan, and they will be born in either human or heaven form.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Jersey?
Padmalesha, and they will be born in heaven or Devok.
That is correct. For the steal, they earned 10 points. The answer was Padmalesha, and they will be reborn in heaven as a celestial being. Question 10, the last question for Houston. Give the seventh ritual in Shvetambar Dashtrik with meaning.
Answer
It's
please.
pramarjana, which is sweeping the floor.
Pramarjana, or cleaning the ground before sitting down for Chaitavanda, is correct for 20 points. Good job, Houston. We're now going to move on to Team 2, Jersey, your individual round. Are you ready? Question 1. For 4 points each, name the causes of ashrav in either the English or Indian language.
Mithyatva, Avirati, Pramad, Kashai, and Yog.
Those are all correct for 20 points. The answers were Mithyatva, Avirati, Pramad, Kashai, and Yog. Question 2 for Jersey. This is an anagram question. All capital letters must be used only once. I'll read the sentence and then I'll state the letters involved in the anagram. A man tried to lift a heavy box, but he could not. The letters are A, man, M-A-N, A, heavy, H-E-A-V-Y, but, B-U-T.
Evam Bhutanai,
Evam Bhutanai is correct for 20. Question 3. This is a two-part question. Give the number and the name of the gunasthanak in which there is a high degree of suppression or destruction of karma, but some diluting karma may manifest in its crude form.
Sukshma Shamprai, 10.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Houston?
11 upshantmo.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer was stage 9, or Aniriti Badar Gunasthan. Question 4 for Jersey.
Can we use a protest for that one?
Okay, so there's a protest. We'll address it at the end of the match, or the round. Okay, we will address that at the end of this round. Question 4. This sutra is recited to offer obeisance to the 24 Tirthankars. It consists of the names of each Tirthankar and their qualities.
Logas or Chaturvimshatishta?
Logos is correct, also known as Chaturvinshatista. Question 5. This is a math question. Take the types of samvaya, add the number of the gunasthanak stage, which is sayogi kevali, and subtract the number of leshya. Give the corresponding meaning of Mother Trishla's dream.
The 12th dream, celestial plane, meaning that he would be respected by heavenly beings or worship.
That is correct for 20 points. So 5 samvaya, or causes, and plus 13 gunasthanaks is 18, minus 6 leshyas is 12, and the 12th dream is celestial plane, which indicates that all the celestial beings in heaven would respect, honor, and salute her son's spiritual teachings. All right, question 6. Give the place and years of 2 out of the 3 vachans held by Jain acharyas to preserve Jain scriptures.
Answer please.
The first one was Patliputra in 320 BC, and the last one was in Vallabhipur in 520 AD.
Those are correct for 20 points. The middle, the vachans were Patliputra in 320 BC, the simultaneous ones at Mathura and Vallabhipur in 380 AD, and the last one at Vallabhipur in 520 AD. Question 7. Define neti neti.
Not this, not that.
Not this, not that is correct for 20 points. It is used to describe the soul. Question 8. Answer the following questions about famous kings. Part 1. Who was the first Chakravarti of the current Avsarbini era? Part 2. King Shripal and Mena Sundari underwent the penance of Navbad Od. Give the entities of the Navbad. Part 3. How did King Shrenik acquire his Ayushya Karma to hell? Please answer in order.
One was Bharat Chakravarti. The second is Arihant, Siddha, Acharya, Upadhyay, Sadhus and Sadhvis, Darshan, Nyan, Charitra, Tap. And the third one was by killing a deer and its baby.
That is correct for 20 points. So part 1 was Barak, part 2 was the Nub Bud, which you can look up. Part 3 was he killed a deer and its unborn child while hunting, and the arrow pierced a tree trunk as well. His pride in such violence caused him to bind a Yushya karma that determined he will be reborn in hell. Question 9 for Jersey. This is a 2-part question. First, give the name of this Lesha in the Indian language, where people in this state of mind always remain sad and gloomy. They find faults in others and are vindictive. They boast about themselves, become angry over small matters, and lack mental balance. Second, if one dies while in this Lesha, where will they be reborn?
Kapot Lesha, which is the third Lesha, and they will be born in as an insect or animal.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team 2.
Neolisha, and they'd be born as a one-sense living being.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. So the correct answer for 10 points was Kapot Lesha. However, we were looking for insect, bird, or animal. We did not get the answer of bird. So 10 points for Drew. It was a 2-part question. All parts were required. So if you want to protest it, but there's no. Okay. Final question for Jersey. Give the third puja in Digambar Ashtadravya Puja with meaning.
I designate to Krishna.
The third puja is the Akshat puja, and that means that he's gonna abandon all the karmas.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Houston?
It's Akshat Puja, and he would be free from the miseries of the world and the cycle of birth and death.
That is correct for 10 points on the steel. So yeah, we were looking for Akshat Puja, which symbolized the end of the cycle of life and death. It was not a multi-part question.
It is a multi-part question in form though. The content is multi-part.
So if it is a multi-part question, I'll announce it as such, that this is for X points each, or this is a multi-part question.
What we're saying is we have a problem with the wording. It should have been
Okay,
multi-part question.
all right, do you want to just protest it? We can go to the end of the round.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It was a puja and the meaning, so it should have been like we shouldn't have to use a protest or something like that.
Okay, we're gonna end this round, so let's first clap for both.